listening to the president's speech and listening to the vice president, that they want to slough it off on a pandemic. And certainly that was a devastating event. But we're living in the here and now. And I don't think that's where they are.
Unfortunately, President Biden's remarks tonight did little to allay my deep concern that he's simply disconnected from the feelings of the average American. Instead, through a series of distortions and distractions, he papered over the struggles of so many.
It was a bizarre speech with a lot of silly lines and some really ridiculous ones. Perhaps the craziest of all is threatening he's going to veto any national abortion ban passed by Chuck Schumer's Democratic Senate.
Let's just start how he ended the speech by saying that, I've served longer than most, if not everybody in here. That's not a bragging point to say that you're a career politician that's been in Washington, D.C. too long.
Parents and families are sitting around the kitchen table worrying about how they're going to make ends meet in the face of crushing inflation.
The president said, let's finish the job, and it sounds like he doesn't think he's finished. $4.8 trillion of mostly debt-financed spending in the last 2 years, trillions of dollars of taxes in what it appears that he's proposing to come forward to us.
We ought to be talking about instead is how are we going to grow the economy, how are we going to create jobs, how are we going to tackle inflation, how are we going to make America energy independent again, and what are we going to do to reduce spending? And we don't have a revenue problem in this country. Revenues are up. In fact, they're up at historic levels. What we have is a spending problem.
They've been reckless and irresponsible. They've wasted trillions on left-wing priorities that have made inflation even worse.
The border crisis continues to worsen while illegal drugs flow into our communities.
Under his watch, there have been nearly 5 million illegal border crossings. There's no control. Our Border Patrol is overwhelmed and has no support from this administration.
Had the gall to say, quote, support my plan to secure the southern border, when it's his policies that have created open borders and have resulted in the worst illegal immigration in our nation's history and the most overdoses in our nation's history.
But I'll tell you what, if he wants to work with Republicans, we welcome that invite. Let's work and secure the southern border. Let's reinstate the policies that were working.
I'm going to do my part to try to work with him where we can, but it's not going to be easy with somebody that's just so disconnected from reality.
The president had missed some good opportunities to be able to outline some of the plan for what he's going to do to be able to actually deal with issues like the economy and how he's going to deal with issues like immigration. But we've got to continue to be able to find ways to be able to get the things done that need to be done for the nation.
I believe we should fight to ensure the United States is a beacon of freedom and strength once again.
We need to return to these fundamentals and take our country in the right direction.